Today, on Be Something Wonderful, manifesting isn't supposed to be a struggle. Give it up to Source. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. I want to talk about a powerful email that I got from a subscriber who said he's now a client. We're going to be talking later this month. He has a session with me. But in his email, he made he had some powerful realizations. I want to share that with you. And this is what he said. Tom, thank you. I get it. He goes, circumstances don't matter never resonated with me. And I remember this idea that most talk about in metaphysical circles, even the spiritual greats. Circumstances don't matter. Ignore 3D conditions. Right? And he said, it never resonated with me. It made me feel more powerless and more afraid. Right? Why? Because saying they don't matter, but believing and feeling otherwise is denial. Do you see it? That whole idea about being delusional and denial, well, that is delusional, saying something like they don't matter, but they really do. Right? They do matter to you. So what's the real message? I get it. It's common, and a lot of us say that, right? I hear that out a lot. Like, circumstances don't matter. Ignore those conditions. But you're not here to hide from 3D reality. You're not here to hide in meditation. You're not here to close your eyes and cover your ears. You're here to participate in 3D reality as Source. Right? You are here for that 3D experience, to know yourself, to know what you already know, that you're a divine being experientially. Do you see it? So what's the real message then? That no circumstance or condition matters more or less than anything else or any other one. Nothing is more and less important to Source, to unity, to God, to that one consciousness. Right? That's what that message is. Conditions and circumstances are not Source. That's what the message is. They're not source of anything. You give them all meaning. Right? Source doesn't view anything more important or less important, mattering more or mattering less. It's all God. It's all one. That 0.0001% is your perceiving of physical reality, all that is. That physical reality is a focus. It's an experience. It's your perceiving. Right? We're going to talk about this less than 1% of physical reality, right? All your power comes from you as Source. Reality is all reality, right? In that 1% of what we call physical reality, circumstances, conditions, is all of God. It's holographic. There's only unity. There's only one. So any part of that one must contain the whole. To say that doesn't matter is saying God doesn't matter. It's to reject that or deny it or ignore it is ignoring all of God. What God's saying is that it's all important. None of it is more important or less important. None of it matters more or less. It's all God. It's all Source. Do you see it? So you're here to enjoy it. You're here to shape it. You're here to participate in it. You're here to see it, but you're here to see it as you would like to see it, as Source, not as it appears to be. You're here to shape it as the source of all of it, right? As one with that great Source. So this is what Dr. Joe, because one of my clients had a question on what I meant by that 0.0001% that I often talk about. But that was in earlier videos. But it started with sort of a quote from Dr. Joe Dispenza. If an atom is 99.99999% of energy and 0.0001% of physical substance, then I'm actually more nothing than something. But really, even in that nothing that we call physical reality is everything. It's all of God. So it's all God, right? In other words, you in 3D reality in which you move physically is mostly unseen, unmanifest, potential to be anything. That's what that really means. Most of it is unseen, but it's all you. You are mostly non-physical, right? The physical is simply where you're putting your focus, where your attention through your 3D senses. It's your perceiving. Yet it's all God, it's all reality, right? But what do? You give all your time, space, and attention to the already seen, to the already manifested, wanting to change it, wanting to influence it, wanting to fix it, ignore it, and calling that less than 0.0001% non-fulfillment. when really it's all fulfillment, it's all God. Do you see it? Trying to ignore it or deny it or reject it is still giving it time, space, and attention. So it's not about any of that. It's about shaping it what you want it to be. It's about seeing God in everything, seeing the ultimate reality in all conditions, all circumstances. Do you see it? So let's hit this. 3D reality, remember, is where the action is. We came here for the action, for the physical experience, right? It is the 0.001% of that absolute changeless reality, the seen manifested, the absolute unity of God in all that is. 99.9999% of which is unseen and unmanifested, but it's still all God. And in every part of that unity of God is all of God, is all of you, is all of reality. You can't divide it. You can't take anything away from it. You can't add anything to it. It is all you. It just means you're seeing that part of reality as something, but in that something is everything, right? So it's one source, one power, one reality. This is the great unity. That means it can never be more or less of God. This means it can never be more or less of you. It can't be added to, it can't be taken away from, it can't be divided, it's holographic. It means wherever God, source, reality is at all, the whole of God must be. That means wherever you are at all of God must be. It's all within you, so rejecting any part of it makes no sense. Ignoring any part of it makes no sense. Running from any part of it makes no sense. Just stop judging it. That's what the message from Jesus was. See it how you want to see it because it's all you, it's all God. So remember, here and there, now and then, few and many, time and space, good and bad, these are all ideas of separation, all ideas of limitation, all ideas of duality and relativity. Do you see it? All of that. Infinity, God, source, reality, life is one great unity. That's the great I am that Scripture talks about. Right? And therefore, wherever it is at all, the whole of it must be present. It's always here, it's always now, and it's always good and very good. That's what Scripture said. That's what it said. That's what God said. It's good and very good. He judged none of it. Everything else is an idea of separation. Right? And so wherever this great unity is, in its entirety, it's present, in all of it is present. It's infinite, limitless, and everywhere, in its entirety, all at once. This is what omnipresence means. This is because it's all power and all knowing. It's omnipotence and it's omniscience and it's omnipresence. All of it is right now. It's all powerful, right? It's all of it, all power, all knowing, all of reality is in that 0.00001%. That means all of you is there, all of God is there. It's all flowing through you, source, all of reality, all power, all knowing. Right now is everywhere all at once and it's flowing through you. Wherever you are, all of infinity is. And you get to decide what you're going to see, how that's going to flow through you, right, as you. That's powerful. So, therefore, when you resist, when you push against, when you condemn, when you avoid, when you ignore any part of reality or any part of God, you're resisting all of it. All of it, all of you. That's what's going on. Again, that's what going against the flow really means. You are the flow, right? Guys, I know 3D reality knows conditions. It's the elephant in the room, but you're the elephant. You're the room. You're all of it. Why are we trying to ignore it, not talk about it, or say it doesn't matter? It does matter to you. Of course it does. And that's what gives you that feeling of being powerless, of being in denial. So it all matters but nothing's more important or matters more or less than anything else to source because there's only one unity. Right? So when you move against that unity, when you resist that unity, you resist all of it. Do you see it? It leaves you feeling powerless, afraid, limited, and separated from your source or from life. Right? You're saying, I am not. And that's impossible. right? You're here to participate in life. You're here to participate in that love. So asking where is God or where is my good makes no sense. Some of you said, okay, I did my part, but where is God in this? I think one of you had mentioned. Remember, God is all of it. So asking where God is makes no sense. Asking where my good is makes no sense. Wherever you are, all of God is. All of your good is. In its entirety. That's what omnipotence means. All power, unlimited, omniscience, all-knowing, omnipresent, everywhere, all at once. It's all you. Wow. So this means in those 0.0001% of manifested unwanted 3D conditions that we judge unwanted is all of God and all of you. And therefore all of you, I and the Father are one. But the Father is greater than I. There's a 99.9999% that we don't see. But you're one with all of that. You're part of that great I am. Therefore, nothing but absolute love and acceptance makes sense. Anything but absolute love and acceptance. That's what we mean by accepting 3D conditions. Right? Because there's no other choice. It's flow. It's not about force. Right? This implies you have power over the 3D conditions when you accept them, when you bring them in. When you know that in those conditions is all of God and all of reality. That you're simply perceiving it in a way that you don't desire, in a way that you don't want. It's about going within and deciding how you want to see it. Seeing it the way you would like things to be. Assuming it the way you would like things to be. Whether it's a past condition or a present condition. If it's a past condition, we call it revision. Neville got its revision. Seeing it how you would have liked to see it. If it's a present condition, seeing how you would like to see it. But they're all happening now. All of God is within all of those. It's all here and now, and it's good. And you get to shape that good, right? So follow the script, right? Remember, you have dominion over heaven and earth through as I am, right? This implies you have power over the conditions. They don't have power over you. That's what Jesus meant. Follow the script. Go with the flow as you assume and imagine conditions as you would like them to be, not as they appear to be, not as they appear in that 0.0001% of seen. Past conditions would be revision. Present conditions would be imagining as you want, but it's still all imagination. It's all you. Remember, this is ultimate reality. That spiritual, that I am, that divine you, the divine mind, divine imagination contains all of it. And then you have the mental realm of thoughts and feelings and your human imagination. But the divine imagination and human imagination are one. There's no separation. But we get caught up here in the spontaneous thoughts and feelings and get talked into believing that they are reality. And then we try to make ourselves feel better. We struggle instead of focusing on that we are the spirit. We are the I am in which they take place. And that they have no power other than the power that you give them. That they're not reality. They're just thoughts and feelings about reality. Same with the physical, right? It just means in the physical, in the scene, you're just less aware. And then in the mental realm, you're more aware. But really, what are you? You're pure awareness. You're all of it. There's no separation. It's all one. Each part contains the whole of reality. Resisting makes no sense. You're at the center of infinity. You're at the center of God consciousness, operating in that, manifesting that body. right? All of it is you, all conditions. It's all you. All entire reality, entire infinity flows from you. You are a center of it. And all of it is within you. Right? It's spending your time here deciding what you want to, which decides what your experience of reality is going to be. Right? Not getting caught up in the changing thoughts and feelings, in the changing physical conditions. You are one with that divine imagination. That's powerful. So stop rejecting God. Stop rejecting all that is. Stop trying to influence, control, resist, ignore, run away from, deal with, and reject 3D conditions. Or control, flip, resolve, fix, or cope with the thoughts and feelings. Right? They're all temporary within that I am, within that pure awareness. All of that takes place within this, within who you really are. This is who you really are. That's you. Those are experiences of who you really are. That's powerful. So all of it's in an effort to feel better. And then you can get what you want. That's what you think, right? You try to influence all that, resist it or control it, run away or reject or don't participate in 3D reality. Trying to flip thoughts, control things, fix yourself, fix others, cope with it, deal with it, all of that stuff. All in an effort to try to feel better. And then you're thinking if you feel better, you can get what you want. You can give yourself permission to have it. I touched on this in yesterday's video. This is from the Magician's Way. And you think that because you don't feel overly bad, you have defeated the things you reject. So we try to overcome these things that we feel bad about, right? And you feel like you've defeated them if you feel a little bit better. You imagine that your non-participation in 3D reality is actually a form of power, but you don't see how you cut yourself off from the flow of life. You cut yourself off from source when you try to run away from that less than 1%, because that's all of reality. That's all of source. That's all power. Right? You're here to mix it up in 3D reality. Whether you fight, submit, or flee, this is from the Magician's Way, whether you fight them, submit to them, or flee, surrender to them, or run away from them, you've always got your attention in the wrong place. You always have your attention in the wrong place. Whether you fight them, whether you flee from them, whether you submit to them, give up in resignation, it's always in the wrong place. You're stuck in how you believe you have to be, think and feel, or you're doing what you believe you have to do. Do you see it? You're stuck in how you believe you have to think and feel or be, or what you have to do. These are the levels 1 and 2 of the levels of reality creation, right? Physical action, level 1, and thoughts and feelings, level 2. You're at the lowest levels of creation, trying to change your thoughts and feelings to think and feel as you believe you need to do to get what you want, or do what you have to do to believe to get what you want. Instead, go to the assumption that it's already yours. Imagine it as it is. Imagine yourself as already being that person you want to be. Assume that you already have those things you want to have. That's where your attention should be. Otherwise, you're cut off from the flow of life, right? And whether you run from it or fight it or give into it, you always get your attention in the wrong place. It's not on your desired end. It's not on your outcome, your imagined frame, how you would like things to be. It's on trying to get the thoughts and feelings right. It's trying to take actions to feel better. You're just fighting there and dealing with the messy middle, right? That's powerful today. So what's the key then? Trust your inner authority, your I am, no matter what, right? Imagine it, affirm it, assume it, and then give it up to the higher power. Go with the flow of life, because you are life. I am the way, I am the life, I am the resurrection, I am the light. In the Gospel of John, Jesus goes on a rampage of I ams. That's you, right? Your true nature is to work through you and as you. That's what your inner authority is. It's your true nature, your I am, to work through you and as you, to bring you everything you want and desire. Stay connected to the love of who you are, not the lack of it. That's what we mean that's what that whole statement of 3D conditions don't matter means. Of course they matter to you, but they're not more important or less important than anything else. You are all of it. So focus on the love of which you are, not the lack, right? Don't try to force reality. Don't try to force conditions or 3D conditions or inner conditions of thoughts and feelings. All of that force creates struggle, right? Instead, imagine it, affirm it, assume it, and then give it up to that higher power. Surrender to your inner authority. That's what the Sabbath means, resting in the Sabbath. That it means you've given it to that higher authority. It doesn't mean you're not moving in 3D reality. It doesn't mean you're hiding in meditation or in the mountains until things are manifested, right? It doesn't mean that. Right? Because remember, even Jesus performed 7 miracles on the Sabbath. Jesus worked on the Sabbath, right? And when he was asked about it, he said, God never rests. Wow! Hear that. Jesus deliberately performed 7 miracles on the Sabbath. He did many miracles, but purposely 7 on the Sabbath because why? The number 7, the significance of that, it appears hundreds of times in Scripture. What's the significance of the number 7? It means completion. It means perfection. It means it's done. It means it's yours. It means you're in Barbados. Right? That's the number 7. So he did 7 to demonstrate completion and unity and absolute fulfillment. That's what the number 7 does. And to give the message that God is always working through you and as you. God never rests. God doesn't get tired. God doesn't need a break. God's not worn out. Where is God? Right there, working within you and as you all the time. So the Sabbath is a mental rest from trying to feel better, from trying to struggle with your thoughts and feelings and just going to the knowing that you are that, right? God's flowing through you and as you. You need to only go with the flow of your source. That's what we mean that manifesting isn't supposed to be a struggle. Give it up to your source. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing your comments. Thank you for joining us on Facebook, the Facebook group, the ambassadors, at besomethingwonderful.com/groups/besomethingwonderful facebook.com/groups/besomethingwonderful. BeSomethingWonderful.com is our website, also TomKearin.com. But the group is the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors at Facebook.com/groups/BeSomethingWonderful. Also join us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin. And our membership channel. If you've joined our membership channel, thank you for joining. There is another video coming out. We released one about a week ago. We also have a live stream later this month planned for September 24th, exclusively to be broadcast on the membership channel. So we're going to spend some time answering your questions live right here. I'm going to answer your questions live from Las Vegas at 9 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday morning, September 24th. Send your questions. We're starting to receive more questions to info@besomethingwonderful.com. The live stream last month, that's on the membership channel. It's there for viewing. We answered a lot of questions and we went nearly 50 minutes. All of these will always be available to view after on the channel. With great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, creators, members, all of you, this is Tom with Be Something Wonderful coming to you from Las Vegas in the studios. See you soon.